What's up everyone? My name is Miles and this is the Make with Miles channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make these super simple belt buckles out of recycled skateboards. Let's go. For this project, I'm going to be using some pieces of broken skateboards which are left over from a previous project. If you want to see how I process the decks and remove the grip tape, there's a link in the description to my previous video. I started out by using my angle grinder to remove the clear coat and the residue from the grip tape. I then ripped the skate ply into smaller pieces on the bandsaw and started the glue up. After unclamping the glue up, I ran it through the bandsaw to get one of the faces flat. Next, I used blue tape and CA glue to attach it to a piece of plywood so I could run it through the planer. Thank you to Starbond adhesives for sending out some of their glues for me to test. If you want to pick up some Starbond CA glues for yourself, you can use the code MAKEWITHMILES to get 15% off any of the Starbond products. There's a link in the description. Thanks, Starbond. Now that I had one flat face, I was able to resaw on the bandsaw to get a thin piece, which I'll be using for the belt buckle. I aimed for around 1/8 of an inch thick for the strip, but going even thinner makes the gluing process much easier because we're going to be gluing to a curved surface. I added a link in the description to the belt buckle hardware I used, so if you want to make one for yourself, you can go pick it up. It's around $6 on Amazon. I traced out the desired shape using a template which I'd cut to fit the hardware. After cutting out the general shape on the bandsaw, I sanded up to the line using my disc sander. Now that it fit in the hardware snugly, it was time to do the final sanding. I used the tape trick to make the sanding easier by attaching it to a piece of plywood so it wouldn't move around. I then used some 5-minute epoxy to glue it into the metal hardware. There was a tiny bit of squeeze out, but I was able to scrape it off with a chisel pretty easily. It was now time to start making the second design. For this one, I wanted to experiment with a herringbone pattern, so I used some offcuts of recycled skateboards that I had lying around. After cutting them into a bunch of small pieces, I squared off one end on the disc sander. The easiest way to do this glue up was with CA glue because of its instant bond, and seeing as the pieces were so small, it would be difficult to clamp. Now that the glue up was done, I once again attached it to the plywood sled to run it through the planer. After planing it flat, I noticed a few gaps between the pieces, so I filled them with some black CA glue from Starbond. This worked surprisingly well and concealed any imperfections in the glue up. After this, the process was exactly the same as the first one I made. I then unclamped it and masked it off using some painter's tape in preparation for the clear coat. After hitting them with a few coats of semi-gloss clear coat, this build was complete. I'm super stoked on how these belt buckles turned out. Overall, I think it's a super simple project that can yield really clean results. Thanks again to Starbond Adhesives for sending over some of their products to test out. If you're in need of some CA glue, definitely hit that link in the description and use the code MAKEWITHMILES for 15% off at checkout. As I said before, there's also a link in the description to the belt buckle hardware if you want to make your own. If you end up making one of these yourself, definitely send me some pictures on Instagram because I'd love to see how they turn out. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, and if you want to see more of my videos in the future, you're welcome to subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.